Hello everyone, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, Ace Farmer Kevin here, and we have the event calendar for September, aka my birth month. I'll be turning 31 this year in a few days, or maybe a little bit over a week, who knows. Maybe you can find out on stream, or you can ask me when my birthday is, but I'll just let you know that according to astrology, I'm a Virgo, so it's at least in the first half of this month. But let's get into it with some of the events that are going on this month in Orna the GPS RPG. The first one we have is Riftfall. It is an event very near and dear to my heart. It's great for many different reasons. I'll be going over the overview right now, and I'll be covering each one in a little bit. We have the questing events. This one does end in about 18 hours. So if you have any quests to do for your main storyline quests, please focus on that because you'll get double the rewards for that. One of the most controversial events for me, one that I love and don't like at the same time, is the To the Skies event that is starting tomorrow through the 8th. The Riftfall is for the whole month. Then we have Terra's Day. Terra's Day is from the 9th to the 20th. And we have Terra's Legacy, which is as well at that. So both of them, one is for Orna, one of them is for Heroes of Aetheric. And then we have Giant Steps. Giant Steps is from the 13th to the 17th. So you can take and get all your aspects hatcher in that time. And then we have a return of a reworked event that happened a few months ago. The Fallen Heroes of Avalon, that starts at the 20th all the way to October 1st. Then we have Rift Distortion, which I will be covering in tandem with the Riftfall, and that is from the 25th until the 1st. And of course, you can't forget the boost event that we have, the Orange event, which is the 26th through the 28th. So let's get into the first one, Riftfall, which happening all month. So I'm going to click back, and you may be wondering why I have a different loadout right now, and it's actually, I'm doing this on my new tablets that I'm using on stream. This is my early birthday present to myself in order to help have a wider screen with more details to help improve the gaming experience that I did, not just for me, but for y'all as well. So, Riftfall has all these wonderful judges that you can battle in different ways. These 6 right here are available in either dungeons or raids or monuments or on the open world for some of these. So, the ones that are in raids are going to be the top 4 plus this one right here. Achilles, Charon, and Rada can be summoned by summoning scrolls or be found in kingdom raids. And then the Arisen Judge, or the Arisen Rift Judge, and the Rift Judge can be from the Rift Distortion. And in order to get the Rift Judge, you have to combine the fragments that you get from the monsters and bosses. So you see here, these are the bosses right here that will drop it. So I'm going to go on Achilles. Actually, I take that back. This one is the raid. So let me go back because it's under raids. So these can be summoned by raids. Now let me go over to the Codex, and we're going to go to bosses. And we're going to type in Judge. Go to the next. Click Filter. Or we're going to type in Rift. How about Rift? No. English, please. We're just going to go to the Codex then. Search it from this way. Alright, so here we go. We have all the items that have Rift in it. We have the monsters and we have the raids. So here are the monsters right here. We have starting out at tier 5 is the Rift Rogue, then tier 6 is the Rift Guard, tier 7 is the Rift Summoner, tier 8 is the Elite Rift Rogue, the Elite Rift Guard, and then at tier 9 is the Rift Summoner. As you click on these, you will see that they drop these Rift Locks. You will need these Rift Locks in order to craft them into farming the Rift Judges. The Rift Judges are the ones that have different versions of the gear. As you can see right here, distorted Rift gear for these, and they also drop the adornments and the weapons, or some different types of weapons, but mainly the adornments that the monsters will drop. Here are the Rift Locks right here. These are the ones I believe you will use in order to craft the scroll. As you can see here, this one will summon the tier 8 one, and then this one will summon the tier 10 one. Then we have the first set of gear, which is the Rift Rogue, the ones that are near and dear to my heart, that drops in the tier 6 raid. It is for Thief. It can either drop from the tier 10 as well. You can see here that it gives you dexterity, crits, and accuracy, as well with balance, defense, and resistance. The decrease your chance to miss your mark is the accuracy, and it's used titanium and fogstone in order to upgrade it. And then the boots have and the chests have the same thing. Next we have the Rift Guard from Rada. This one is whenever you take damage, you will recover mana and HP right here, and it has higher defense, lower resistance, and a little bit of HP too, which is pretty nice. Drop from either the tier 7 or the tier 10 Rada. Then we have the Rift Summoner. Now these are a little bit different compared to these that have the same ones. So I'll go over the chest, the helmet, and then the boots individually. The chest gives you a Summoner Protect chance. The helmet gives you a Blood Pact or Pact effectiveness, meaning that if you use Life Pact to heal your summons while you're wearing this helmet, it'll be 20% more effective. Or if you use Blood Pact or Sacrificial Pact, it will increase its damage as well. And the Rift Boots have Summoner stats increase, and this is for the tier 8 one. So the tier 10 have a little bit different. And then here we go right here. We have the Omega Rift Lock. This increases the chance on instantly summoning your summon, and you get this by completing the NPC quest by talking to the NPC, which I'm going to go over right here, where you can see that NPC on my account right now. So you'll see this person here. Now, if you've already completed this quest, I would highly recommend not really doing it again unless you don't want to take and have any distorted rift scrolls, because like I said, some of these fragments will be used for them. I'm going to go and show you the fragments on my account right now under the other, I believe it's going to be found here. So I'm going to go to Rift. Alright, here we go. So to my knowledge, I think the Delta Rada Rift Locks, those are the ones that you will not be able to use for the scrolls. Now the Theta Rift Locks, which are the higher level ones I believe, these are the ones that you're going to use in order to craft the scrolls. You can see here I have a bit of a balance or imbalance of some of them, so I've been hitting the Charons pretty hard recently, so that's why I have more of those. Moving back over to the website, we're going to go with the Distorted Rift gear now. We have the Distorted Rift Sword, which has, similar to the Rift Guard gear, the chance for you to take and heal when you take damage. We have the Rift Staff, which has accuracy, which is very nice if you're trying to hit something, which is very nice. It has a little bit of foresight. The Rift Shield, which has a resistance instead of defense. Then we have the Distorted Rift Leg Wraps. These have follower stats, but they're worn by warriors, so that's what I was saying, that the Rift Judgments, the Risen Rift Judgment and Rift Judgments, they have different gear for different classes. So normally you would find this on Summoner, the Summoner stats, but it be worn by Warrior. So they kind of mix it up, and it's got low defense and high resistance. So it's a little good bit of swashbuckler tech right here. And actually it's follower stats, not Summoner stats. Let me correct myself there. And then we have the Distorted Rift leggings, which has the other parts where it can be when you take war damage, you recover. And it also has summon stats, and it's similar to the Rada with the high defense with low resistance. And he worn by the Valhallan Summoner. With Distorted Rift helmets, this is the Thief one. This one has reduced damage from like damage over time abilities like Berserk. So you can make a different build with that. Excuse me for a minute, my nose is running and I'm going to try and catch it real quick. And this can be worn by the Thief class, which is pretty nice for some different builds that you can experiment with the future, and it has the accuracy. The Distorted Rift headdress is from Magic. It has follower stats for the Magic class with low defense, high resistance, so swashbuckler Magic hats. If you can maybe do a little cooking with that, so maybe on some DD Beowulf or other stuff like that. Then we had the Distorted Rift cowl, one of the really good pieces from the Distorted Rift Judge in my opinion. It is a helmet that has the magic casters that has accuracy and crits on it with balanced defense and a little bit higher resistance and defense. It has a lot of slots when you get it to Godforge. Now we have the Distorted Rift chest piece. Can be worn by the Warrior class, has the similar abilities of the Rada chests and Rada gear where you get recovery. It also has accuracy and crits combined with it. Very nice with balanced stats. Distorted Rift chest guard. This is the one that I like for swashbucklers or Blades of Finesse people. As you can see, it has low defense, high resistance, has some follower stats, and has accuracy combined. So I recommend if you are a swashbuckler beginning, or later on if you get the Risen one, you can take and get that. Now we have the Distorted Rift boots for Summoner / Valhallan that have the crits and accuracy combined with summon stats, so that's very nice. Distorted Rift armor can be worn by magic casters that have high defense, low resistance, and when you take damage you will recover HP and mana, so it may be good if you're trying to do hard boss mode. You can use that to help you out in your adventures. And here are the different rift locks. And then we have the Risen versions of those. The Risen Rift for the shields. And the weapons, they have the same abilities as the other ones, so I'm not going to go over those to save time. And these are the Risen gear from the raids, the main raids. So the Rift Rogue, my favorite chest used for Endless. As you can see, the crit has gone up from 3% to 5% with the Risen, and so has the defense and resistance. Same thing for the Rift Guard. It heals 5% now. Now here is something else that's cool, this weapon. It's not from the tier 8, but here's the tier 10 one, the Rift Razor. It has a crit chain, so meaning that the more crits you do in a row, meaning that if you use Perfect Shot and you have 100% crit and it crits, the first crit will do, let's say, 5,000. Next one may do 5,500, then 6,000. It'll keep on going up. I believe it changed up to like 10 to 20 times increase. So that's why it may show that it says -10, but it kind of increases for the crit chain by 7% for each one. So there we go. That kind of answers my question there. If you want to try that, that one's for the Warrior. So it's from the Arisen Rift Judge. Moving up further, that kind of covers all the gear from them. Now we're going to go over to the souls. So I'm going to type in soul. So we have Soul of Achilles, Soul of Charon, and Soul of Rada. These drop from the monsters. I'll go in from order from beginning to end, from alphabetical. So the Soul of Achilles is a really great adornment to put in your weapons if you're going to be doing Ultima damage or doing Dark or Holy damage. Ultima has all of the elements combined in with it, and that's what I use in my gear when I do raiding with Ultima Strikes. And it drops from the Rift Judgment, the Shade of Achilles, which is the monster. So I'll go over this one a little bit. So you can see here, it drops the Resin Shade Blades, which kind of has the same thing as the Rift Razor, which has the crit chain with this. And then the Achilles Razor, which is an amazing weapon that has a lot of slots at Godforge with some crits for Thief if you're trying to build an Ultima Strikes build as a base realm shifter or a regular Thief. It is tier 10 only. Here's the Shade Blade, so you can see the crit chain and the crit damage. It's a two-handed weapon. And then here is the Theta Rift Lock, which is the one that you will need in order to craft to make that. And you can see you can drop from all three versions of the Shade of Achilles. This one is a boss, this one is a monster, and then this one is another boss right here. Now going over to the Soul of Charon. Soul of Charon gives you mana with summoner stats. Here you go, you can see it drops from these different things right here. I'll go over to the tier 10 Shade of Charon and show you why this is a valuable monster to kill if you're a summoner. It drops the Arisen Charon staff, which is an amazing staff that gives you 30% to your summon stats, which is very nice. And it technically dismantles in the Greater Souls, which is even nicer. Now the Charon's Grimoire, you can get this from two different ways. One is the Mightiest Mimic, and the other one is the Shade of Charon itself. This one allows you the chance to summon many different summons when you use it from the Grand Summon ability. And one of the most important ones for Endless is the Great Gazer. The Great Gazer is a purple eyeball. I'll take and show you it right now. Here we go, monsters. We'll go this. You can see the Great Gazer. One thing that's cool about him is that he, or it, is immune to physical attacks. So like a non-elemental physical attack does 0 damage to it. See here it has a mix of different damages it can do. So that's can be summoned from the Charon's Grimoire. And then you would have to, or I would encourage you to buff it up if you want to try and do summoner stuff with that. Now the lower one, the Shade of Charon, this one also drops a lower staff that also has 20% summoner stats for tier 9. So it's a good one that you can get for tier 9 out there. And then let me click this and go to this one right here. This is the boss, I believe, right here. That also drops a tier 7 staff. That gives you 15% summoner stats. So those are some good stuff to look out there for the summoners. Now we're going to go over the Soul of Rada, which is a really good defensive adornment. You can see here it gives you defense ward and resistance, and it has dark and holy damage reduction, or use the damage you take by those. Going over to the Shade that drops it, you can see here it drops the Arisen Rada Greatsword, which has a lot of adornments, kinda not really important in my opinion, and then the shield. Now what I didn't cover yet, and I'm going to go back and cover, that drops from Rada itself, is the Spike Great Shield. Where is it? Let me find that real quick. I'm going to do... type in Spike. So the Spike Great Shield drops from the Rada Raid. As you can see here, it gives you 20% ward power making it one of the best adornments in the game for Gilgamesh's, or people that like to use ward skills. So besides boosting your damage done by Spike Shield and Chain Shield, it also increases the healing and mana you get back from Diffused Ward. So that drops from Rada. So that covers the Distorted Rift and the Rift parts of the events. I'm going to take and move on. And I will cover the Fallen Heroes of Avalon another time. I kind of already presented this before, but I will make a video sooner when that comes out, just for the sake of time, because it is a 20-minute video right now, even though I may do some editing. Who knows, I may include those bloopers in there. We'll find out with that. But I probably will be wrapping this up for this video. So thank you everyone for watching. Don't fret, I don't have a gauntlet up right now, as you can see. So waiting for a new one. Oh, there we go. Perfect timing. But thank you everyone for watching. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Go check out my YouTube channel. As soon as this goes up, I will be live on YouTube on Monday. But I do appreciate everyone's support. Some new updates is that I will be streaming on mainly Saturday and Sunday. I'm streaming Monday because it is technically a holiday today. But please go check out my Twitch channel as well. Links will be in the description. Have a great rest of your day/nights, and I will talk to y'all soon. Peace, everyone.